So business owners, real estate investors. So how do you get the maximum cash out on an investment property so that you can utilize that to invest in business activities for your business? So I was talking to a real estate investor, and he owns a large commercial building outside of Houston, and he was looking to get a cash out to invest in other activities. And he got the property, and the property with the appraisal he has is worth $3.1 million, well, at least what the appraisal says. And he was like, yes, this is awesome. I only owe about $1 million on this. What's the highest LTV that I could get? Like with a SBA 504, you can get up to like 90% LTV, but like most of like the were low documentation loans, light docs, a lot of times you go up to 80% or maybe as low as 70%. So let's just say we're just looking at it from the 70%. So 3.1 million times 0.7 is 2.17. So 2,170,000, right? And with that amount, that'll give him about $1 million to invest in other business ventures and everything. He's like, yeah, based on that LTV, that loan to value, that would be great. Well, that would be great if typically any loan over $1 million, it's not solely about the LTV, the loan to value. What is the most important thing is debt service. And so he was like, well, what is debt service? Well, debt service is the amount, the net income that's left over to be able to pay back the loan. So just stay tuned because I want to show you how to, especially his business. The great thing about this property, he has a holding company that owns the property, and his another operating company, a different business that stays in the property. And he's like, so debt service, how does that work? So, well, basically what it works is you got your I mean your income of the property, gross income, which would be your rent roll, right? The amount of rent roll, and then minus the expenses for your property. So what are the two big expenses for all properties, just not commercial properties? You got your insurance as well as your property taxes, right? And then a lot of times the lender will add in other expenses, or I mean, you gotta operate this property, you gotta maintain the property, that kind of thing. Maybe there's vacancy rate, but typically from a rule of thumb, you just say, hey, 35%, for expenses and so forth to operate this property, including tax and insurance, right? And then whatever is left over is the rent, the net income, right? Or the amount available for debt service. So I told him, I was like, so how do I figure that out, right? He was like, how do you figure that out? Well, you take the net income of the property, and I'll just use some easy numbers, right? So I will say $1,250. So $1,250, and let's say the loan amount is only 1,000. Okay, so if you divide $1,250 divided by 1,000, you get 1.25. So that's the ratio that is ideal for most banks and financial institutions. And a lot of times, depending on the programs that are available out there, a lot of times you can go lower than 1.25. But that's a really good thumb. So I told him it's not based on the LTV, the loan to value that he was looking at, is based on the debt service. So you want to make sure that you have the maximum debt service. So what you do is you make sure that you pay your rent to the holding company as high as possible in order to get that maximum debt service. All right. Well, thanks for watching. There's a free article, 5 ways to finance real estate below. Check that article out and talk to you soon.